Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Magic Arena. And this we're gonna be doing a really quick episode on this because this is supposed to be the block constructed one, though there are not enough cards in Through the Omenpaths. So it's block constructed plus foundations. So and honestly, yeah, it is really hard to build decks with just a block as small as this one. So this is the best that we were able. So this is what I came up with. I'm pretty sure this one should not be that hard. It's basically just some spider tribal for the most part. We're using as many of the cards from Through the Omenpaths, aka Spider-Man, as much as possible. So basically a lot. So it's basically very simple. A lot of spiders, and a healthy amount of removal to keep things going. We have a bit of an end-web team because we in particular for cards like Janai and Hoppy. Clutter Cluster is also something a good one. Pretty much we're going to be trying to run our opponents down as much as possible. I'm also going through this video relatively quickly because I'm also leaving quite soon. First few games have been interesting. I haven't exactly seen anything major, so like I thought of the Mayhem deck, but just not that many cards, and Foundations doesn't exactly give any benefits of discarding. Maybe there is a bit of a graveyard team you can go. Okay, this one's a bit of a low ball start. Probably get something going though. It really helps that this one flies. Let's see, well, it's definitely gonna drop something. We do have some removal here. This is in Foundations. Opponent probably has burn. It's kind of expected. We're kind of hoping to leverage Spinner of Souls to be our card advantage here. On the other hand, leverage or something. So get the swing back. Spinner of Souls, probably not a great trade here, so what we're gonna do is we're going to end web. Would really love to have Spinner Souls to go along with this one, but kind of have to do this one first. If we swing like that, we will definitely block like this. I would not be surprised if our opponent has something. Start taking a bit of the fight contacts. So we'll play Spinner first. Okay. The next turn we can probably do bite. We will just probably go ham on our removal. Since our opponent's being held back a bit, they're not dropping much either, so second spinner would be really nice. That's another token. I would not be surprised if our opponent finally takes out the spinner. Not yet. But being able to go semi-wide here helps us a bit. I really have no idea what's... Oh. I honestly had no idea what happened to our opponent there. Because our opponent playing a second color and they just did not hit it. That's probably the most likely reason there. So, not... But we did have the removal in case our opponent went for our gullet there. So, there we go. We'll see. We'll probably do a few more games of this. But yeah, the effects of this one will pretty much determine what happens in 2027. 2027-2028 lineup. If I remember correctly, what happened to Aftermath pretty much dictated what happened here. Okay, we get to keep this one. Only for this, but this is really nothing. But this is not a great turn 2. I still have to play it anyway. Did I mention that we are running a lot of basic because we have so many turn 1, turn 2 plays? Like, we do have the temples. I did not opt to run the gain lands. I'm just gonna do this now. Next turn, I could even just play Darvel. Hold on, the reason Tempest, okay. Let's just land this one, see if we hit our mana. Maybe we kind of. So I'm hoping to hit one more mana so that I can also drop, this one as well. But I would not be surprised if our opponent has a lot of protection at this point. We'll take the hit. That's good. Our opponent's follow-up is, so they have land. Not too shabby there. Now I could also just play this, but I suspect our opponent has a counter spell here. Let's play this one first. Because we have a second copy, this pretty much just bait. It's just bait. Yeah, our mana really could use a lot of help. Foundations does not give you a lot. I probably would opponent letting us. So they probably have a flash creature. Also interesting of notes that this will not block flyers. And then double blocks to deny the land, I guess. If they have a combat trick, they have. Nope. They do have. Get those source pieces. I could drop this. I want another land. Yeah, swing first. Basically, I'm gonna. They have a counter spell. Maybe some sort of. Nope, they don't. They're just gonna like, oh. I'm gonna take 5 on the. Take 5 on the back. This one first. Opponent clearly has a counter spell or some sort, so that's why I'm kind of stuck on. I kind of need them to unload all of this now while this is still hanging in the stack. So only one guy gets a benefit and not both. That is part. Yeah, I knew they had the counter spell, but we were so behind because we drew way too many planes. I I did think of putting Llanowar elves in, but that probably would have made it worse in this particular instance. Yeah, we did. That was a very sketchy keep. Let's be honest on that. See if we can get at least. Probably have enough time for about 2 more games. So with the rain this bad, we might not end up leaving. Okay, this one is much better. We can use. Thankfully, they do give us the temple, so it's still something. Is the L? No, bannered librarian this case. Let's have cheap and web calls, but we probably will end up in spinner first. We're still gonna keep this one alive because drawing cards is still quite important for us here. If we can, we want to force them to use removal. This one gets 2+1/+1 Okay, this has to go. So can't exactly wait. So this one does have an awkward trigger, though. At least it can count itself. But yeah, we kind of want to 4 mana. Kind of want to play this first, then try slam 2 of these. We might be forced to slam 1 of these right now. Obviously gonna take. If our opponent spends their mana on that, then fine with it. Opponent probably now suspects gonna have a bunch of two turn plays. Yeah, 4 mana is pretty critical for us in this case. Oh yeah, our only source of red mana is literally the secluded courtyard. So our mythics are not gonna be too relevant in that sense. Hit us with first strike first. So I'm gonna swing first. The grow extra arms helps us an alternate combat trick of sorts, depending on the combat tricks that we plan to use here. We're gonna Leyline Weaver. Let's see what they're doing. Then we can end the turn. Get the trigger here, which is more card draw. We have quite a good amount of card draw. Though what we're starting to realize is a lot of people playing this one, they're just putting whatever decks they can cobble up with. Not exactly investing, which makes sense. I probably would not invest either. Like, I could drop this for 6, but whenever you attack doubled enough, we don't have any counters on our spiders quite yet, so probably gonna drop this. They should set up some light bulbs in there. Though we could easily just win with the grow extra arms pumping. Because they are forced to block these two. Throw some extra arms and we're done. Having a giant growth plus really relevant to us here, because we're just trying to close out the game ASAP. We're not. So having the extra card draw really did. Yeah, too. Let's see if we can get at least one more game in. But yeah, I would say that this might be the saddest set release for a while, so we're gonna try to take as much advantage of it as we can. Like, I could play Demera, but this is gonna be this is gonna need them both, I suppose. It's probably still better, because if our opponent doesn't have it, we can just drop a late. It's gonna eat the bolt. It's gonna need removal. You don't just let your opponents have card draw on the table. Okay, I take it back. Opponent is good, but this guy. And now I regret not doing the split here. Next turn, yeah, we're more likely going to be playing one of these, so we'll be able to clear a couple of them. Yeah. One is going to hands. Probably don't want another. Card draw, and do I want to just drop this now? I kind of want to just drop this now. We don't draw anything off it. I could send this, but it won't take this one out. I'm fine with it. I don't want to now start looking for ways to put +1/+1 counter. Well, that's what Ren is for. I could have added some other effects for the +1/+1 counter team, but a bunch of them are on spiders that are a bit awkward. Is literally going token, so they have a big spell that pumps all their power and toughness. Probably will just end up playing this first. I don't like committing these because, well, looks like one is going to let us commit these. Okay, they really are going to do something. So let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 3 will be 24, so we should expect one of those spells. So much as we can. Wait for the spell to drop, then we take out probably the prideful parent. Price, sure. I don't think they're gonna drop, so this drops 4, opponent goes all in on another effect like this, that's a 9. They probably want to have removal though. We could, if our opponent goes for one of her creatures, we can we can oddly enough just use that to use our Stroke of Midnight in order to at least make sure we still have a token back. When it's tagging us for 1, sure. But this is the part where we need to hit the spider or when it will probably just jump with these smaller ones. Hoping to get through us in this way. Maybe get another kill. Fine with, I'm gonna just take it. So they will get the trigger of this one because 4 more creatures enter. So this was the case where I would have rather used this than use Midnight on that one. Well, we do have our own. Okay, just gonna attack that. So we're going to do that. And if we absolutely have to, I would just start casting this. And so now we can tag them in the air. Tag, but and this one doesn't check that it's non-token creature, so we should be able to get this in. They could have a pump effect that brings it up, so okay, let's see if they want to pump it. Yeah, they're trying to say that they have a Goblin Surprise. I'm gonna see if they're not going for a Goblin Surprise. They're gonna gain more life off this. We will get the swing with this. And I probably want to still hold on to a bite now in case they have yet another Arapo. It's fine, end of turn. Battle of the Silken Thrones, to grow extra arms might change it. So you probably want to save this combo for their Sarn. Release the dogs. So it's clear that we do have to try this guy out. That is a good thing for us. So back to you. I still want to save this, but you can choose to. Actually, no. Pretty much I'm waiting. I'm gonna probably save this one for the end if it doesn't have a way to gain life. Lightning. I could spend to save it, but I would much rather save our flyer if we can. This is me hoping they don't have a big move. Yep, they did not, and we got there. Yeah, sometimes you just really need to grow extra arms. Doing quite well, all things considered. Let's see, maybe we can do one more. Yeah, let's do one more just to. But yeah, all things considered, this is probably super normal for the most part. Super normal in the sense that it should also be a warning that things might not be going that great. Now that said, definitely landing this one first. It's a shame there's a bunch of synergies that we're not able to take advantage of. No land anywhere else this time. So I would expect some sort of fight spell, which would be an issue. But that's why we still have just straight up destroy effects. Even if they give our opponent something, it's still bad. It's still somewhat better. Makes you realize how important things like get lost, fateful absence, that kind of effect is. bit of math here, but oh, because this has to be tapped, so that doesn't quite do it. I could just drop this one. Yeah, it doesn't. It still makes this big enough. Yeah, but we really need one more land to make this setup work. Yeah, and web having the limitation of the creature needing to be tapped. That's such a big. Going wide this way. Unfortunately, this is going to alert our opponent. So I have to give our opponent some. The opponent is not going to take the bait. I'll just do a double check. This doesn't untap it, so there is that. But we still have our Leyline Weaver alive, which is quite important here. Into a pacifism, so we're not lucky. Let's force our opponent to use Elder Removal. We can still tap this for mana, which is a deal. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. And web also kind of ruins the pacifism as well. We're definitely screwed with this. So next turn, yeah, I really need to just hit one more mana, then I could okay, there we go. Swing the Jarble. If it dies, it dies. Now we're we now have mana so that we can do clutter cluster. Yeah, and web pretty much ruins pacifism effects. No, normally it wouldn't, but if the creature has an activated ability, it does. So them tapping the Leyline, it was just to get damage in, that's for sure. Sure. They probably would have been better off doing one of these other guys. I guess that's also why the tap is a requirement also. Otherwise it just really completely blanks these. At least it takes some effort. For the time being. Eventually we will Paladin make things worse, but we can just chump block with this. They don't have a pump. Yeah, so to. Yeah, I'm tempted to just hold this back. I want them to flood all their mana on this. Or they're not gonna flood it. They don't exactly have a pump effect. Yeah, there's no reason not to be. Yeah, this one being as during your turn effect means that we. And that's because we got a second one. We grow extra arms. It's gonna. Looks like our opponent only has Unicorn, which I could wait till I have two creatures, but I would not be surprised if we're at the point where we start having to trade. So having a spinner source out makes it better. Demonstrate some sort of combat. Yep, that would do it. We get the trade. I get to get the card off of spinner, and we would have been sold there. Ooh, okay, so there we go. That was a relative. I wouldn't call it well, definitely not super mind blowing. But in fairness, this is generally true for constructed stuff, for block constructed. It's just it also doesn't help that this particular block constructed really needed help from another set. Maybe the next one for Avatar would play out differently. We'll probably see when you get there. That's gonna be for this episode, Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, turn on notifications and whatnot. You'll find the deck list now showing here because I forgot to click it on, but you'll also find it in the description. That said, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope to see you guys again next time. Take care, God bless, stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone.